This podcast is a member of the Place to Be Nation family. Visit us at placetobenation.com. The only place to be in your pop culture world.
Am I too loud, by the way?
No. Well, I mean, in general, yes, but right now, no, you're fine.
Oh, thanks.
It says if I go on, like, October 5th, it's only, like, $63 for a flight.
On Southwest?
It doesn't say, it says Frontier.
Oh, well, you should do it. $65 is nothing.
67 plus fees and stuff. It's gonna end up being more, but either way, I guess it's not that bad.
You down a clown?
I'll come sometime.
Well, I mean,
not soon though.
Well, that's a good price. You might as well, if you were gonna do it, I would do it before it gets too cold and snowy. You know.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're gonna have to wait till like fucking May.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna be able to go that soon though.
Oh, all right. Well, I mean, you're more than welcome to come whenever. Honestly.
Yeah, I know. All right. Well, actually, yeah. All right. So I guess we'll start this new episode out. What do you think?
Well, let's do it.
Top beer. Top beer. Top beer.
All right.
Are you ready to take your pills, Tim?
I am ready to take. Why didn't you save that terrible joke for the show? I guess maybe it is the show. Welcome back, Lucha Luscious. This is the show that you're listening to. This is Lucha Underground Top Beer. Mm-hmm. You already heard the intro, so you know. The song plays and stuff, and it's got the guy saying Top Beer over and over again. You want to break kayfabe on that one, or it's just a guy?
It's a dude. A cool dude. A very talented, creative dude, if you don't mind my saying. Yes.
And so, as you also know, because you're a smart person who can listen to music and read descriptions, you know that this is our episode about Pilsners.
Mm-hmm.
Beer style I'm not a huge fan of, but Adrian is. So, Adrian, I'm going to say you are taking the reins on this episode.
Let's do it.
All right.
I'm not a huge fan of Pilsners, but I don't mind a good Pilsner every now and then. And I was reading, the Pilsner is just a variation of what a lager is. I was reading about this the other day, by the way, and I sort of realized why you're not a huge fan, because lagers are generally the more mainstream, cheaper beers that you find in stores and stuff, and a Pilsner really is just a variation on that. But having said that, there are still some very good Pilsners out there. And one of them, the one that I have in front of me right now, do you want me to start, by the way, or do you want to go first?
You're running the show. You do your thing. If you've noticed when I do it, either sometimes I start, sometimes you start. It doesn't matter.
Gotcha. Okay, so the one that I have in front of me is by Oskar Blues Brewing Company. Now, Oskar Blues is a company based out of Colorado, but I believe they've expanded recently. They actually have I think they opened a place in North Carolina, South Carolina, one of the Carolinas. They have a brewery out there now. But Oskar Blues has a Pilsner called Mama's Little Yellow Pills. I really love the name for this. Mama's Little Yellow Pills. It comes in a can. It's got a nice... it's got a very patriotic sort of coloring and stuff on it. You got your red stripe and your blue background, or your blue stripes also with white stars in them. And yeah, that's what it looks like. It's got some mountains on the label as well, obviously because it's from Colorado. So, and it doesn't even say what city. It just says Colorado, USA. I don't even know what city really it is. Oh, and apparently, and I didn't know this, Tim, it says here on the side of the can, it's a malt liquor. What do you think about that?
That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
It says malt liquor on it?
In very small letters on the side of the can, it says malt liquor. That's right. Brewed and canned at the Oskar Blues Brewery in Longmont. Okay, it's in Longmont. Longmont's about 35, 40 minutes from where I live. I've been up there.
Okay, not bad.
Yeah, so, all right, it's your standard 12-ounce can. Let's go ahead and try this. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Let's do it. I cut my nails today. This is a bad idea. The show's over, folks. Sorry.
Yeah, we're done here.
Okay, here we go. I'm going to pour it. Hang on. Okay, so just like what you would expect from a beer like this, it's pretty clear. It's a very clear it's a very clear yellowish color. Not a whole lot of carbonation. It does have a pretty decent head though. Let's see what the nose is like. Let's see. Let's nose dive right into it. Yep, it smells like a Pilsner / lager type of beer. I mean, it really is what you would expect from a beer of this stature. Is that the right word? Stature? Or does that mean like height? I'm not really sure anymore.
I mean, you could use it, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah, it's a nice, clear yellow, piss yellow color. I'm shitting on it, but you know what? I've had this beer before. It's not a bad beer.
It's what they're saying. When people talk shit about fizzy yellow beer, or they say it looks like piss water or whatever, Pilsner is what they're talking about. You know, so it's not shitting on it. It's really just descriptive. It's what it is. It's what it looks like. It's kind of what the beer is. Unfortunately, it's not a bad thing because, you know, all things can be different, guys. There's no shame and no judgment about a beer being yellow and watery looking.
Yeah.
It's still the beer that it's supposed to be, right?
Yeah, I mean, I would choose this over Bud Light or Coors any day of the week. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
This is the beer that you buy in a 6-pack or a 12-pack, and you go to the pool or the beach or whatever, and you drink it. Like this is like your daily driver beer. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So let's go ahead and have a taste. Ready for this?
I'm ready.
Okay. It has a slight citrusy. I forgot. I haven't had this in a while. It has a slight citrusy flavor to it. I can definitely. It's definitely malty. I'm not gonna lie. It has a I guess a normal amount of maltiness, and almost a slight honey taste on the back end, as you say, Tim. Almost a very slight, subtle, sweet honey taste on the back end. Let me take another sip. Yeah, it's good. I like it. It tastes way better than what. It doesn't taste like a cheap beer. Like, I know that it is a Pilsner, but it doesn't taste like your typical cheap, beer that you would expect, of this class of beer. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. I like it.
All right. Well, that sounds pretty good. And guess what, Adrian?
What's that?
It doesn't just sound good. I'm about to find out if it is good.
Oh, no.
I've got the same beer.
So they do sell them in California. Awesome.
They sure do. Oskar Blues. And I got it kind of assuming, it never crosses my mind that you'll have the same beer, but knowing that you would have had it because I know you like Oskar Blues and you've talked about them out there.
Yeah.
So I saw it in the store and I got it. And mine, the can is yellow.
It is yellow. It's a yellow can.
You said yours, the can is blue.
I said it has. Sorry, I said it. I misspoke. It has a blue and red stripe. It's very patriotic, if you notice.
No, mine is just yellow and black with red. No blue at all.
Oh, you have a different. Okay, because I'm looking at the picture of it on Rate Beer, and you have it's like a different variation.
Oh, because it says gold medal winner. So I think they made the can all.
Oh yeah, because mine doesn't say that at all. Excuse me.
Yeah. Okay. So this is the same beer, obviously. This is 5.3% alcohol per volume.
Is it really 5.3? That's
what it says. It's not bad.
Wow. You get fucked up on this if you drink enough of them.
You could. All right. So you're right. It looks like piss. It's got a foamy white head.
Yeah.
It's got that stereotypical beer head. It looks like a beer.
It looks like.
And. Let's see what we got. Rate Beer has got overall 46, so people don't like it, but it's got style 86, so it is a fantastic Pilsner according to the internet.
Yeah, so it's kind of like when you go on Rotten Tomatoes and you see that a movie has like an awful critic score, but a great score from the actual people who watch movies.
From the Joes?
Yeah, from the regular. Because really, who gives a shit about what critics think at the end of the day? You know what I mean?
That's right.
It's
Except
just
for not when it comes to wrestling critics. Everyone cares about what wrestling critics think.
Is that true? Because I don't really know.
Well, no, I guess I technically kind of am one, so that's why I'm saying. And our entire website is built around wrestling. But every other kind of critic, of course, no one cares about.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Give it a sip, Tim. I'm telling you, there is a slight honey taste.
It's a really good Pilsner.
It's a good Pilsner, right?
It's got that old, British style malt and hop that has that old country flavor. That's what I'm not a fan of. generally.
Why
but
is that?
This is nice and crisp, nice and smooth. I just don't like the mouth feel. It kind of gives me a tangy zippiness that I'm not into in the flavor. But that's just my preference. But honestly, this is clean. This is crisp. It's an easy drinker. I actually poured the full can into the glass. I'm already more than halfway done with it. It's easy to drink. Not super high alcohol content, but not super weak either. And yeah, it's just, you're right. This is a daily drinker beer with no issues.
No, definitely not. I mean, for what it is, it's a good beer. And like I said, I would choose this over Coors or Bud Light or Corona or whatever any day of the week, you know?
Well, yeah. And so because we are saving a beer description because we got the same beer, we also get to banter a little bit here. This is our point. And Adrian, I got a topic, although this is your episode, so maybe, you know what, I'll defer. This is your episode. Do you have any topics or anything you wanted to talk about for our banter segment here?
Actually, yeah. I just thought of it, too. I was going to say, is there something to be said about the type of people that drink certain types of beer? Like, I feel like Corona has a certain demographic. I feel like Bud Light has a certain demographic. I feel like I don't know, Heineken has a certain demographic. Am I wrong in saying that, or what do you think? Like, do you think there's something to be said about that?
Well, as I've told you before, I find that the Corona and the Heineken crowd are the same people, but it's they drink Corona Monday through Friday, and then, you know, if they got a promotion or something happens, they drink Heineken. That's their fancy beer. I've always noticed that. I don't know.
You've said that before, actually. I remember now.
Yeah, I've always noticed that that Heineken has this. I don't know if it's, you know, culturally a thing, but it just feels like it's those beers just go hand in hand. It's kind of like the fancy beer is the Heineken.
Yeah.
And then there's the craft beer, and there's the craft beer haters, which is another fun sect of people, the people who shit on people who drink craft beer, which I find is a very funny thing to care about. There's the people who drink stouts. You find a lot of people who like the darker, heavier stuff are more of your intellectuals, and also maybe more of that kind of old school Eastern European kind of people. So you think like French, Czech, those people or Russia even. I didn't even mean France, I meant Germany. Like Germany, Russia, Czechoslovakia, those areas, a lot of darker, richer, roastier beer type people, the kind of people who, you know, have thick beards and glasses, and you know what I mean? Those are the people who tend to drink the darker beers. You get a mixture of everyone who drinks IPAs, at least out here in Southern California. I don't know, have you noticed any kind of demographics when it comes to beer culture and different beer preferences?
That's why I bring it up, because like
out there in Colorado, I mean.
Well, no, let me tell you something. Here in Colorado, people love their craft beer. You know, any place you go to, it's going to be mostly craft beer, even if it's like it's just a regular Joe Schmo bar. But the people there's the sports people, the people who go to the Broncos games and the Rockies games, you know, those people binge on Bud Light or Coors. Like, that's the only thing you're going to fucking see. And I know this for a fact because I work for a TV station, and we covered the opening Broncos game the other day, and we walked by several tailgate parties, and what did I see? The special orange and blue, which are the Broncos colors, orange and blue Bud Light cans all over the goddamn place, Tim. There's even a big billboard by the Broncos Stadium that celebrates their orange and blue Bud Light cans. So your sporty, you know, your meatheads are gonna, you know, they go to the tailgate parties. They're you know, throwing down some Bud Lights. But anywhere else you go in this city and in this state, it's all about the craft beer. People love their craft beer out here. I even heard a guy. I was at this place down the street from where I live called the Bull and Bush that I've mentioned to you. And there was a guy next door. You know, he was enjoying his craft beer. He was talking about his beer and how much he liked. Like, it was making me kind of cringe because I love beer, but I don't even talk about beer that much. But I just know that out here people really do enjoy their craft beer, and it's like, you know, your sports people, they love their regular Bud Light, and everybody else likes whatever. I mean, there's so many choices of craft beers to choose from, you know. So
yeah, and I didn't know about the orange and blue cans for the Broncos. That was it, right?
Yes.
That's got to be something they do all over. But out here, I'm trying to think. We don't have a football team, and then we have the Dodgers, and the Dodgers are already blue. So I think if they were doing Bud Lights, they're already blue. So it's just blue, you know.
Yeah.
And well, I don't know if
I think Bud Light has a plant out here, so I think they make them. I'm assuming they only make the orange and white blue cans for here in the Colorado area, or no?
No, I'm saying they probably all the different places they do cans that fit the teams. You know, you would think.
Oh, okay. You would think that, right?
I would guess, but maybe you're right. Maybe because does Budweiser brew in Colorado? You said they did.
They have a plant out here. I don't know if their main headquarters is here. Like, I know Coors is obviously from Colorado. I don't know if Bud Light is though. I think they might be. I think they at least have a plant out here.
Ah, interesting.
Yeah. And really quick, like the younger Latino Hispanic demographic, they're all about the Corona because I go on Snapchat all the time. I have a lot of Hispanic friends. Obviously, I am Hispanic, and when they're
like
partying,
to stick with your own kind,
right? When they're partying or out somewhere drinking, what are they fucking drinking? Corona, Heineken, Bud Light, but mostly Corona. Corona's like huge and like, and every now and then someone will change it up and you'll see a Tecate or a fucking Pacifico. My girlfriend's dad, who's Hispanic Mexican but he's born here, he loves his Pacifico. Like I don't like Pacifico. I think it tastes like a cheap beer, but he really enjoys his Pacifico, So there you go.
Fantastic. All right,
Tim. Well, let's take us onto a quick little break here. When we come back, we're gonna go on to our second beer. What do you think?
That sounds fantastic.
All right, let's do it.
Promotional consideration paid for by the following. Voice of Ring of Honor's Kevin Kelly here. I want to make sure you're subscribed to all of our great feeds here at Place to Be Nation. Just head to iTunes today and search and subscribe to the Place to Be podcast feed, the PWO PTBN feed, PTBN Pop, and of course the Kevin Kelly Show feed, which includes the full archives of my podcast. Some really great stuff. Subscribe, listen, and then rate us and leave feedback today. Thanks for being a fan of professional wrestling. More importantly, thanks for being a fan and supporter of the Place to Be Nation.
Okay, we are back from a little break there. Tim, how you feeling?
Fantastic. I've never been any better, I don't think, in my entire life.
That's good to hear. Are you ready to try the next beer for our show?
Yes, let's do this.
For our show. Was it my turn or your turn? I think it was my turn, no?
Yeah, we go back and forth.
Okay, so I have another beer based out of Colorado. You've had beers from this company, Tim, from the Avery Brewing Company. This ain't your grandpa's Pils. Joe's Pils Hoppy American Pilsner, Tim. From, like I said, Avery Brewing Company, based out of beautiful Boulder, Colorado. So let's go ahead and give that a whirl. What do you think?
I always thought Avery was in California. I didn't realize it was in Colorado.
Oh, yeah, Boulder, Colorado. Brewed and canned by Avery Brewing Company in Boulder, Colorado. Yeah, so the can, really quick, just to describe the can, it's got like a black and white picture of like an old school mafioso looking dude. He's got his fedora, on sideways. He's got his like dark suit and white shirt, and it's called Joe's Pils Hoppy American Pilsner. Let's see what the ABV is on this bad boy. Let's see here. You're holding a contemporary rendition of a classic style, hopped with purpose. Joe's is beautifully bitter and dry with an abundance of floral, noble German hops. Uber sessionable, utterly American. Brewed with Rocky Mountain water, malted barley, imported German hops, and German yeast. So this is a half German, half American type of beer we got here, Tim.
Do you have any idea what the guy on the can or the Joe's is about? Do you know the significance?
The way I interpret it, this ain't your grandpa's Pils is what it says on the top. And you got this mafioso looking, this old school gangster looking dude. It's almost like this is the beer that this guy drank when this guy was done, running guns and trading, drugs or whatever they did back in those days. He'd come home to his brunette Italian wife, and she'd serve him a nice steak with some mashed potatoes and gravy. And what would he wash it down with, Tim? He'd wash it down with Joe's Pils. He'd take his pills with his steak and his mashed potatoes and gravy, and that's how he would, unwind for the night, while watching like boxing on his black and white CRT television. And I'm being very specific here, and I'm probably very wrong, but I imagine that's what it was like. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's the story in my head. I don't know. That's probably complete bullshit, but I mean, it's nice to make up your own stories for this type of stuff,
Exactly. You might as well.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and pour this. Let's see here. God, the problem with these beers, they have too much head, you know? It's too much.
Yeah.
And then I'm pouring it into like a more narrow glass, so that probably doesn't help.
That's true. That will not help with that.
But the foam is so like, it's like perfect like white bubbles and like it's very nice and you know, very similar to the last one we had. It's very it's only slightly cloudier than the little Mama's Yellow Pills. Only slightly cloudier, still pretty clear. A good amount of carbonation, good amount of head, like I said. And let's see what it smells like. Let's check out the nose. This actually, it smells a lot different than the last one. I'm not gonna lie. This last one you could tell, you know, there was like a Pilsner type, but this has a little bit of a different scent to it. Let's see.
Might be those hops coming through.
I think that's what it is. Yeah. Let's take a sip. A lot of head, but whatever. I'm gonna go for it. Ooh. That I can really taste the and I don't know where it comes from. I don't know where that sort of slightly sweet honey taste comes from. Is that from the barley or what am I tasting?
Yeah, it's from the malts.
That's what it is. This is definitely if that's what it is, and this is definitely maltier than the last one I had. And I don't taste the hops. I don't know if it's just me. I don't know if I don't have as a refined palate as some people, but I don't really taste the hops, to be honest with you.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm not getting any hoppiness in there. I'm getting more maltiness and hops. I almost wish like this would be a really great Pilsner that would separate itself from other Pilsners if it had more hops in it. Because I like IPAs, and I'm just being biased, I guess, but I like the hoppy taste to beers, and if this had a hoppy taste to it, I feel like I would enjoy it a lot more than I'm enjoying it now. If that makes sense.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
All right, yeah. So I can't figure out who the guy is or what the kind of thing about Joe is, but Adrian, what do you know about the history of kind of those mafioso guys? Like, when you said whatever they were doing, do you know what the primary crime of the time was? Well, the guys who have that stereotypical look.
If we're thinking about this era of your old school gangster guys with the fedoras and the suits, I'm thinking Prohibition. I'm thinking exactly. That's what it was, right? Prohibition. But when beer was obviously prohibited by the government, I'm thinking these guys were probably running, among other things, beers and stuff. So that
right,
must
so
be
that's
it,
probably
right?
why it's Joe's Pilsner, because that guy that you're seeing, Joe, it was his beer that he was, making and selling.
Oh, nice. So is this
That's what I would assume what the story is. I don't think it's real. I don't think that's a real story, but I think that's what they're going for.
Yeah, and you know what? You sent me an article the other day about Pilsners.
Little Boat Pills?
Yeah. And
I did. So, Adrian, do you have that article?
I do. I read half of it. Do you want me to read all of it right now? Because I could.
We'll go over what you remember from it, and maybe even dip into the second part. You could just kind of scan it through there as we go over my second beer. Which, you know what my second beer is, Adrian?
What is it?
It is Avery Brewing's Joe's Pills. American Hop Pills.
Nice. Okay.
I did not know that Avery was a Canadian or a
Colorado
brewery, and I had always thought of them as a California brewery because I like Avery's a lot. And I grabbed this one. Didn't expect you'd have this one at all. Can open smoother than the last one. I'm just gonna say that.
You know what though? Really quick. I thought that the liquor store that I go to, I thought they were going to have way more pills than they did. I almost had a hard time finding pills, Tim.
Did you really?
I did, and I don't know about you, but I saw the cans and I was like, oh, there they are. There's Avery, there's their pills, there's the Oskar Blues pills, and then there's my third Pilsner, which we're going to try in a little bit. But I was surprised. I was like, I could have sworn that they would have had more pills than they did, but they didn't have as many. So I had
This is a lot paler yellow.
It is, right? It is.
Yeah, and the head is like super white.
Oh, I know. That's what I was saying earlier.
Yeah, no, it really is. Yeah, and you know what I realized too when I realized that we have two of the same beers is I think we both, or maybe just I, because I don't know what your third one is, but I wasn't able to find a authentic from Europe Pilsner, or not that I wasn't able to find, but
you're
I didn't
gonna
grab
enjoy my
one.
third Pilsner then. Sorry.
Okay, good. I should have got one. I should have gotten the Urquell or whatever, the original Pilsner. Let me give this a taste, and we'll get into that article, huh?
Let's do it.
I like it. You know what?
Good.
It's got a little bit of hops that kind of balance out the part of a Pilsner that I normally am not a fan of.
See, how am I not getting that? How are you getting that and I'm not getting that?
It's just like a little grassy. It's like the grassier hops. It's a little grassy. It's not super bitter, but it balances out, like I said, the malt and the old style hops flavors that you get in Pilsner that I'm usually not a fan of. So overall, this is a 69.
Mm-hmm.
So, this beer is down to clown, if you will.
But the style...
But for the style, it's a 96. This really knocks it out of the park for a Pilsner.
That's a really good score.
And it does go to show just how much like kind of beer snobby culture it does not enjoy pills, because both of the ones that I've had now have had really high style preferences or profiles, but really low overalls. So,
right.
All right, Adrian. So you want to get into maybe this article, or if you have any other Pilsner backstory, history stuff, you want to educate the people a little bit, or just whatever you want to do. Let's do it.
You sent me this article. This is from Gazettes.com. Craft Beer Corner, Smog City, Little Bo Pills, and basically, I'm going to read you the first couple paragraphs if you don't mind. I'll read them quick. Wrongly detested by many, its reputation is stained by the likes of Budweiser, Miller, and Coors. The Noble Pilsner is probably the most misunderstood and often ignored beer in the craft beer portfolio. Like many beers, Pilsner has a storied past dating to the mid-19th century when brewers in the Czech city of Pilsen in German, began experimenting with bottom fermenting yeast, cooler fermentation temperatures, and cellaring the beers for a few months in limestone caves. This lagering process, there you go, keyword lagering, along with the city's soft water and locally grown Saaz hops, created a distinctively light-bodied, dry and crisp, bright beer with a floral hop bouquet. Instantly popular, the beer and the technique spread to the Austrian Empire, the German states, Savoy, and Prussia. As Germans immigrated to North and South America to escape the revolutions of 1848 or find economic opportunity, many brought this favored beer and recipe with them, establishing themselves as brewers and influencing the beer cultures of those regions. For example, by the turn of the century, the German Pilsner dominated the American Midwest market and became the working man's favorite thirst quencher. So that's really where the article gets me, because it makes a lot of sense. This is the kind of beer that you come home to. This is the kind of beer that a guy who works in a factory in, at the turn of at the start of or during the Industrial Revolution, comes home to, and what is he going to have in his fridge? And those old school type of cans that they had back then, a Pilsner. It makes perfect sense. So there you go. So that, and then of course, we've talked about it before, or you just said it earlier about how it's not really. It's kind of beer aficionados turn their nose up at this kind of beer, and even this article says that it's kind of off ignored because it's such a blue collar beer, if you will, right?
It's a blue collar working beer for the working man.
But it's not. These aren't bad beers, Tim. These are good beers. They're not. I'm not going to drink these all the time, but they're not terrible beers. You know what I mean?
And yeah, it's that, it's the artist or even the archer or whatever. It's like you don't have one color of paint in your palette. You don't have, one kind of arrow in your quell. You have multiple different things that you go to. And Pilsner is just another tool in your box, another kind of beer to like. And for a brewer or for a beer fan, like Highland Park Brewery, Adrian, we went there just recently, or you went there with me, I think twice even. Mm-hmm. And they have two different Pilsners on tap that the brewer there has made. Actually, three, technically, because their house beer, Refresh, is a Pilsner. They have the Fils Pils, and they have another German Pils that I don't even know what it is, but they have a Czech and a German Pils, and their house just run-of-the-mill stock Pils, and it's kind of like, this guy who's known for being inventive and trying so many different styles, look at him, he's trying to do the same thing and expand people's horizons with different kind of Pilsners. And more brewers in general should be doing this. More people should be making a Pils. You know how hard it is to find a lot of these big kind of crafty breweries that you think of, if they have Pilsners at all, you know what I mean? Let alone if they have a good Pilsner.
Yeah.
Because half of them, if they do have one, they just throw out whatever, and it's kind of shitty. It's your bare bones, whatever Pilsner that they put out just to essentially try to capture some of that market, some of that side stream Budweiser fan type beer guy. And it's like, it's a style of beer that deserves respect. Is it for me? Not necessarily. I'm not a huge fan. I like this one. This Avery Joe Pils, I'm a fan. I enjoy this beer. The Mama's Little Yellow Pils, I liked it slightly less, but I still liked it. And I would still drink this beer. So this is kind of same thing. It kind of opened my eyes. Now I'm like, a lot of times when I'm going out to an event or I'm going to a dinner party or something at someone's house or something, and I'm always kind of fighting with myself about what kind of beer do I bring? Well, I want to show people interesting, cool beers. But I also think like, well, I want to bring something people will drink. Well, now that I've tried these and I enjoy them, I'm like, oh, you know what? I would be down instantly to bring a 6-pack of this and then a 6-pack of maybe a Berliner Weiss or something else that I kind of prefer, or, you know what I mean? Something that I'm interested in, and then bring both so I can go, hey, you know what, guys? Here's something that everyone will definitely like. Here's something interesting that you guys can all try, and that's always important to me because, I like sharing this stuff with people. That's the most important part. That's why we have the podcast. Because I like sharing this stuff with people. I don't want to keep it all for myself. I've never been that guy. I don't know about you, Adrian, but the people that are kind of like, oh, don't tell anyone about these cool things that I like. That's not me, I'm always like, I want more people to know about the cool stuff that I like.
Right. I wanted to read a little bit more on this article that I remember. Yeah. It goes on to say prohibition would have a further impact. There you go. There's a prohibition angle for you. Driving small producers making artisanal ales or more interesting lagers out of business. But the lager regional brewers found side business in malt-based products like syrups, non-alcoholic beverages, as well as ice cream. And when Prohibition ended, they more easily were able to return making beer. Pilsner and its American lager cousins became the dominant beer, and the breweries competed through the 20th century to lighten the flavor profile to satisfy new regulations and match Americans' pedestrian tastes. I like that he calls it pedestrian taste. By the 80s, the American Pilsner was a pale shadow of the original, still clocking in at 4% ABV, but with a body lightened with corn and rice hop bitterness of a nearly undetectable 12 IBUs. Compare that to pre-prohibition recipes that created a medium-bodied beer of 5 to 6% ABV with a distinctive and pleasant hop bitterness, about 25 to 30 IBUs, from imported German noble hops like Saaz and Hallertau, offering a spiciness and mellow bitterness. So this basically tells me that it almost sounds like they watered these beers down as time went on, which kind of killed the Pilsner and lagers for some people, I guess,
Yeah, and that's where the light beer thing came from.
Mm-hmm. And that I'll end there with the article, but that's we should share that on Twitter and stuff so people can read the whole thing.
Yeah, and what's funny is that article was written based around the Little Bow Pils that was a Pilsner being made by a brewery out here, Smog City in Los Angeles, and they wrote this whole nice article kind of breaking down the history of Pilsner. That's where I found out about it on a beer forum. Unfortunately, that's how bad I am. That they were talking about it, and they're like, oh, this is a really cool article that was meant to just be like kind of talking about this one specific beer that's being made in LA, but ended up really like breaking down the history of Pilsner in a really interesting, cool way. So definitely something we need to share out there. We have to remember to put out that article at the same time that we put out the episode so people can know exactly where to find it on Twitter.
And the great thing is, that's what I wanted to say earlier, is that you guys listening at home, you guys can try these beers for yourself because Oskar Blues has expanded a lot more, and Avery Brewing Company as well. So, if Tim can find both these beers in California, and since California is a very popular state, there's no reason why nobody will be able to find these beers. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
So there you go. All right, Tim, anything else before we go to break?
No, nothing.
Awesome. All right, well, let's take another quick break, and we will be right back with our third and final Pilsner beer.
Place to Be Nation's JT Rozzero here. In addition to the archives of the Kevin Kelly Show, we have a ton of great podcasts available to you on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, and PlaceToBeNation.com. And we now offer them to you on two great feeds. On the Place to Be podcast feed, you can check out Scott Criscolo and me on the Mothership, the Place to Be podcast, with our famous Vintage Vault pay-per-view reviews. PTBN also covers current day wrestling with clotheslines and headlines, main event, Mission Indie Possible, in our monthly pay-per-view reaction shows with immediate feedback on WWE, NXT, and Ring of Honor Super shows. Relive wrestling's past with our monthly pay-per-view rewind series led by Ben Morse and the Dangerous Alliance Wrestling podcast as we dive into various subjects in the form of exercises and games. All of this in addition to Scott Keith's Podcast of Doom, which includes discussions on questions from listeners, as well as current day and old school wrestling. We also have sports covered too with the Sports Lounge, the TJ McClune Show, and NBA Team Podcast. On our brand new PTB Pop podcast feed, we offer great shows such as the Glenn Butler Podcast Hour Spectacular, Rank and File, Lucha Undead, as well as a veritable podcast heaven for comics fans with the Hard Traveling Fanboys, Sellers Points, Todd Weber's Conversation, and Imaginary Stories. Subscribe to both feeds on iTunes and be sure to rate and leave feedback as well. All of these shows are available on PlayStation.com, where we cover pro wrestling, sports, movies, comics, plus tournaments and more. Be sure to check out on the right-hand side of the site for details on how to support the site when you shop at Amazon and download our free Place to Be Vintage Vault Refresh ebooks. We also want to thank our friends at Bonehead's Wing Bar in West Warwick, Rhode Island, and Fall River, Massachusetts, and Scott Keith's Blog of Doom. Be sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Tumblr as well. PlaceToBeNation.com, the only place to be in your pop culture world.
Okay, we're back. Tim, how you feeling?
Oh, I'm feeling fantastic here. I'm just really getting started drinking these Pilsners, you know?
You getting
This
started?
is the beginning of a night of a frat brothers night out.
Well, you have to always remember to take your pills, Tim. You gotta take your pills. I love that it's called the Pilsner, just because I get to say that all the time.
Yeah, it's the pills that kills, brother.
Okay, so I guess it's my turn again, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's always your turn. You're running the show.
Okay, here we go.
It could be my turn if you want, but you're in charge, so just do whatever you want.
Okay, Tim. So this is the next post. This is the big one. This is the one that I strategically saved for last.
Ooh.
This is an authentic European style Pilsner that I'm pretty sure comes from a European brewing company. And I'm gonna try my best to say the name of this. The label says Hamburger Original Mars Bro Pilsner. It's some weird German or Czech name. I can't pronounce it very well. Let me read you what it's... Oh, it doesn't actually have... it only has a government warning, but it's... imported Shelton Brewers, Bolchester, Massachusetts. I don't know where it originally comes from, though.
Brewchester, Massachusetts?
No. Let's see here. Oh, okay, here we go. Brewed and bottled in Germany by Bamberger, Mars, Brau, Gerber, Mikel, something, CA Redemption Value, imported by Shelton Brewers, Belchertown, Massachusetts. 5% ABV. The label is it's what you would expect from, I guess, an old school European style beer label. It's got like some twigs and some ferns and some leaves, and it's got like some kind of weird semi coat of arms. Or actually, no, it's like it almost looks like a knight holding a shield, and he's got like wings. It's like a knight with wings, and he's holding like a shield and shit. It's pretty cool. You know, very medieval. You know, like this is probably the kind of beer that they drank back in the old school days. You know what I'm saying, Tim?
Yes.
And this is the only bottle that I have tonight, and I'm not gonna. This is it's not a 12-ounce bottle. It's a bigger bottle. It's it doesn't even say. Oh, it's a 1 pint 9 fluid ounce bottle. Okay, so it's a bigger bottle, not a huge bottle, but it's bigger. Okay, are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
Here we go. Now I poured this into my small tulip glass. Oh fuck! I don't know why I didn't. I have a fucking Pilsner glass, and I don't know why I didn't grab that. Shit. Whatever. It's fine.
Yeah. What the hell?
What the hell, right? Whatever. That glass would have filled up the whole thing, so I don't want to drink the whole thing right now. This anyway, so it's probably good that I didn't grab the big glass. But anyway, it's a very, very, very see-through, medium yellow color. It's not cloudy at all. It's got a pretty small. It doesn't have a lot of head. Not a lot of carbonation either. Let's go ahead and. That smells just like a Pils. That's exactly what I would expect from a Pilsner.
They really nail it, huh? Back there in Hamburg.
Hamburger. Yeah, let's go ahead and take a sip. Oh, wow. This is like this reminds me of the Little Mama's Yellow Pils, but dial it up like 5 notches. Like this has more maltiness. This has more of that sweet, semi-sweet honey taste that I keep mentioning, that which you say is the maltiness. This tastes like a Pilsner. I mean, I don't know what else to say.
Yeah.
It doesn't stand out that, like, side by side compared to the Little Mama's Yellow Pils, it's essentially the same goddamn beer. Like, it really is. I paid a premium price for this because it's like an original German Pilsner, but it tastes like that says a lot about Little Mama's Yellow Pils, because the fact that they can replicate that same exact taste with their Pilsner, you know what I mean, says a lot about them. So
right.
So it's not bad though. I mean, it tastes like a Pilsner, looks like a Pilsner, smells like a Pilsner, tastes like a Pilsner. I mean, it's a Pilsner.
So what are the ratings? What's the alcohol? What's the?
I need to look that up. While I look that up, you should tell us what your next beer is, Tim.
My next beer is from Hamburger. No, I'm kidding. My next beer, of course, is from beautiful California.
Is it?
San Francisco, California.
Ooh, San Francisco.
Almanac Beer Co., one of my favorite breweries. They make very interesting, very awesome beers. They also decided to make what just says Almanac Craft Pilsner. Dry hopped crafted lager. It says right on it. Crisp, hoppy, and crushable. It says there. Hops, Citra, Mandarina, Bavaria, Mosaic. So the Bavaria, the Mandarina are those old style European hops that you expect for a Pilsner, but they've also got Citra, Mosaic, and Simcoe hops in there as well to really give it that California flavor. The can is super cool. Almanac has new cans. They've started producing a lot more cans. They're a lot cheaper, a lot easier to get because their bottles are insanely expensive, but they're worth every penny. I highly recommend any Almanac bottles you see to go for them. Really cool blue buildings and truck, and it's a monochromatic kind of landscape of what looks like it could be the brewery itself. It's just silver and blue, or white and blue, I guess, with some silver twinges where you can tell that it's the can, rather than being printed on color with little black borders. 4.8% alcohol per volume, and I'm going to go ahead and open this up, and Adrian, give your scores and your whole thing.
All right, so my score on ratebeer.com, overall 55, 92 for the style, though, Tim. That's not bad. That's
they
probably,
killed it.
I mean, yeah, it's from Germany. It's an authentic German Pilsner. I mean, I don't know what else you would expect from a beer like this. But yeah, it has a really great score on Rate Beer. And honestly, like, I can't say that. Well, we'll get into it. We'll get into it later. We'll get into what our top beer is.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll talk about it in a bit.
Okay, so this looks pretty much exactly like the Joe Pils. Thin, yellow, white head, effervescent bubbles. Let's see how this bad boy smells. It's got that floral citrus hops. You can smell the Citra and the Simcoe. Mosaic as well, so you get those, you kind of get that Southern California vibe from the nose. Ooh, that's interesting.
What's that?
It's thin, it's fresh, it's fruity, it's floral, it's not really dank or grassy. It's it's like this is a weird one.
Why is it? What sets it apart from the other two beers you've had tonight?
It doesn't have anything that resembles Pilsner, honestly.
So it's like this beer company almost like reinvented the Pilsner in their own style and taste, huh?
Yeah, it's like a very California Pilsner. I mean, it's the only thing that makes it reminiscent of Pilsner is that it's very clean, it's very crisp, it's very light, but the flavors are kind of IPA. They're kind of SoCal IPA, honestly.
Yeah. But do you like it, though, is the question.
It's got a little bit of that maltiness. I could definitely see that it's a lager. I could see this as like an IPL, like an India Pale Lager. Or I guess you could say that's a Pilsner, right? You could say like it's a Pilsner-style lager. And it does, yeah, I'm starting to get the malt, so I am starting to get some of that malt, but not the honey, but more of the, I don't even know how to explain that malt flavor, but you know what I'm talking about, the malt flavor that you get from Pilsner that almost, I think it tastes bad, so that's why it's hard for me to describe it, because I don't taste a lot of things that taste like it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Kinda. I know the honey taste because I keep mentioning that over and over. And
you like the honey taste, but what's the other taste that you get with lagers, you know?
It's that bready, malty taste, I guess, no? I mean...
Yeah, so it's got like a twinge of that with the kind of hoppiness, but it's not overpoweringly hop. It's like, I could honestly see this being an IPL, I could see this being a session IPA, I could see this being what it is, which is a hoppy lager. Like, I could see that this isn't a very pronounced beer, but it's like kind of perfect in that regard that it's the quintessential West Coast Pilsner. Because just like other Pilsners where it's just like a crushable, drinkable, I could drink a fuck ton of these beers kind of thing, it really feels the same way. And it's super low alcohol, great low flavor. Yeah, I like this one a lot, honestly.
That one sounds good. It sounds different from everything else you've had tonight. And that's probably a good sign. I mean, I feel like the Little Mama's Yellow Pills and Joe's Pills are closer to each other in taste and stuff than what your third beer is, no?
Right, no, exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Well, what's the score on that, by the way? Did you say the score yet?
I did not. You're right. You caught me, Adrian. This is a style of 98, which I don't necessarily buy, and an overall of 83.
Wow.
So,
that's not bad.
Yeah. No, it's not bad at all.
Awesome possum. All right. Well, we're going to take one more quick little break, and when we come back, we're going to announce our top beer. You like that? You like that production quality?
I like that a lot.
We'll be right back.
This is Parv, and I'm here to tell you to listen and subscribe to the Pro Wrestling Only Place to Be Nation podcast network. That's the PWO PTBN podcast network, where you'll find a ton of in-depth shows done by hardcore fans. We've got Chris Zellner's 1-2 punch of Exile on Bad Street, and with David Bickenspan, a smash hit Between the Sheets. We've got Wrestling Culture with Dylan Hales and Dave Musgrave, Goodwill Wrestling and the reaction shows with Good Old Will from Texas. We got This Week in Wrestling with my man Pete and Johnny Sorrow, Stephen Graham and Tim Livingston's Pro Wrestling Super Show, Tag Teams Back Again with Kelly and Marty Sleaze, and a ton of other great shows too. And of course there's Titans of Wrestling and Where the Big Boys Play with yours truly and some dude from down south called Chad. PWO PTBN Podcast Network.
Alright, we are back. And we are going to announce our top beer. Tim, do you want to go first? Let's have you go first for once.
I'll go first.
All right, go ahead. Go ahead.
The Almanac, the Crafted Pills.
There you go.
That's my top beer.
That's
I love
your top
it.
Beer.
It's like an IPA. It's cheating. That's why I like it.
Okay. Anything else you want to say on that, or is that it?
No, it's a fantastic beer. Like I said, I recommend Almanac to anybody if you could find it anywhere. They're I think it's, what is it? Farm to Glass series is all fantastic. It's kind of like that farm to table thing, but it's beers that are made out of all stuff that they locally sourced from, farmers that are near the brewery. I highly recommend it. So anytime you see any Almanac anything, just go for it because their stuff is great.
I'm going to take your word on that because I want to look out for that brewery next time I go to whatever liquor store I go to, and hopefully they have something from them. They don't really seem to arrange beers in big liquor stores in alphabetical order, though, right? So it's like
They do not.
They don't. I notice it's like all the cheap beers are on one side, and then to the right or to the left of that, you're going to have all your craft beers. And I notice that they're never in alphabetical order, which they should be. I feel like that would be really helpful, if you especially if you're looking for a beer from a certain company, you know?
Well, would you do it alphabetical by brewery or by name or by style?
By brewery. By brewery.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think people are doing that.
At least if you have them in the fridge. If you have them on the shelves, then maybe you do it by style. Like, here's all your stouts in dark. Here's all your IPAs. Here's all your, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay, so my top beer for tonight, and I kind of surprised myself on this. I try to drink the beers in the order in which I think I'm going to enjoy them the best. And I honestly thought I was going to enjoy this authentic German Pilsner the best. But if I have to be honest with you, Tim, I feel like the beer that I enjoyed the best tonight was Joe's Pils from Avery Brewing Company. I feel like this beer stood out the most as far as differentiating itself with taste, with flavor, with everything. I feel like if I had to choose between all these three beers, as far as which one I would drink regularly, I would choose Joe's Pils from Avery Brewing Company. That is my top beer for tonight. That is my top beer for tonight.
Fantastic, Adrian. Well, I guess we got to close out the show, huh?
We do.
What did we learn tonight? No, Pilsner. Try them, guys. Just try them.
Yeah. You don't have to try them all the time. I don't drink Pilsners all the time. I haven't drank a Pilsner in forever. This is the first time I've drank a Pilsner in like a year, but that's not the point, Tim. The point of the show is to expand your beer horizons and try different stuff. And it's funny, you were saying you were saying earlier that you went to a brewery where you saw they had 3 different kinds of Pilsners. That seems like a lot, because most breweries and shit that I've been to, I rarely, if ever, see a Pilsner on their menu. You know what I mean?
Right.
But give Pilsners a chance. I mean, it's the working man's beer. It's the beer you come home to. You like that? You like that saying? I do. I like it. I'm copyright that one. It's just the everyday beer. It's especially for summer activity. I know the summer's over now. We're getting into fall, but next year, when it's getting hot again, especially if you're in Southern California like you are, Tim, and you're browsing the shelves at your local liquor store or beer store, pick up a decent Pilsner. Pick up Joe's Pils. Pick up a little Mama's Yellow Pils. I mean, those are all over the place. Get a 6-pack or a 12-pack. Bring them to a pool party or whatever, and you're gonna enjoy either of those 2 beers. I know you will, because I do. And if not, just get a wheat beer. That's what I always end up doing anyway. So,
if all else fails, get a Whitmer, right?
Exactly.
Or what's your go-to wheat beer?
Definitely Easy Street Wheat from Odell Brewing Company.
All right, there we go. So if you can't, I haven't even ever seen that out here. But I also don't look for Hefts that often. I'm not a Hefeweizen guy. Maybe that's a future episode we need to get into.
Definitely. Which I think the cheap beer equivalent of Hefeweizen would be like a Stella Artois, right?
I didn't even know. Is Stella a wheat beer? I didn't realize that.
It's definitely a Hefeweizen beer, I think, right?
Oh, I think you might be right.
I think it is. So that's about it, folks. That's it for tonight. Tim, is there anything you want to plug? Anything you want to say, or?
I want to plug Wrestling with Words, all my stuff over there. I did a review of the ROH TV show. That's the most recent thing as we're recording this. I probably have done something else since then. This Week in Wrestling always comes out it's technically Sunday. I didn't want to correct Brad, but it's late Sunday, early Monday usually. So there's always something there, something interesting. Depending on what I'm reviewing, and either something good,
there's
something bad.
There's always something there to remind you.
That's for sure. And then otherwise, I think that's it. Honestly, follow us on Twitter, Lucha Undead.
Yeah, there's a lot of great shows on the PTB and Pop Network. There's so many different types of shows. There's shows for every taste you can have. There's movies, there's video games, there's TV shows, there's beer, which is us. Obviously, wrestling. There's a little bit of everything. It's a sampler network, if you will. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So check out all the other great shows. I wanted to say really, really, really quick, Tim. I just discovered this YouTube channel the other day. I don't know if you've heard of it. Greg's Beer Reviews. Have you heard of that?
No.
So Greg's Beer Review it's this old dude. He's pretty chill. He's like he sits in his house somewhere in his house, and he's got like a wall of different beer glasses behind him, and he reviews beers. Now, the reason why I bring it up is because recently, Greg has come on some hard times financially, so he's kind of asking his fans, and he has many fans, to sort of help him out with some money if they can, whatever they can helps. And I was watching some of his videos. He's reviewed some of the beers we've had on the show. He's reviewed some of my favorite beers that I've had. And he really does a good job he goes way more in depth than we do. I mean, we do a pretty good job, I think. He goes and he does one beer per video, and he goes like 15-20 minutes into a beer. Less than that, actually. He does like 10 or 15 minutes into one beer each episode. It's pretty good, and we'll go ahead and we'll tweet out the link to his YouTube channel, and you'll see the links for his Patreon and stuff like that. I don't consider him a competitor because he does the video.
No, not at all.
Not at all. So we'll tweet out the link for that. Greg's Beer Reviews. He's got hundreds, if not a couple thousand videos. He's done a lot of beers, Tim. I'm not gonna lie to you. He's done a lot of stuff. And you can even search YouTube, Greg's Beer Reviews, and you can type in the beer you want to see if he's done it. And most likely he's done it because this guy loves his beer. So check that out, and we'll tweet it out. And besides that, follow us on Twitter. Follow me at Dillaboots. I'm trying to do some more silly, funny videos on YouTube and whatnot. And I think that's about it, Tim. What do you think?
Yeah, and here's the thing. It's all a big community. We're not competing with people because they can't have our takes. They can't have our personality. So
exactly.
Greg's Beer Reviews, go listen to him. See what he says about the same beers. Listen to him review the same beers that we review and just see what his take is because he might have a totally different take than us. And also, most importantly, like you said, go support the guy because it sucks, Stuff happens to everybody, and if you can help as much as you can,
Definitely. And one more thing, he does mainstream beers and he does like craft beers, and he's got some obscure he has some obscure beers on there that I've never fucking heard of that I probably would never try in my life, but that's what makes it interesting and different. So give it a shot, if you will.
Here we go.
No pun intended. All right, Tim. Well, thank you for being a friend, and thanks for drinking with us tonight. I'll let you say the saying, Tim, because you do it better than me. What's the saying we close out with?
All right, so we say, good buds, good beers, good banter, good night.